Hello guys, I didn't actually post my video on the whistle today, partly because I was at a family event for Boxing Day, but also because I wanted to take a little bit of time to think about it. I was going to wait until tomorrow morning to compose my thoughts. It's now nearly midnight on the day of the game, and I keep going over and over it in my mind, so I thought I'd better put something down now on tape while I'm still thinking about it. Arsenal drew 1-1 with Brighton, and I think there's a lot of disappointment out there about the result, first of all, and also the performance. Um, I think, it's not helped by the fact that Chelsea won today. I think, Tottenham had a fantastic result. Liverpool had a fantastic result. Yes, Manchester City lost again, but I think, we don't really regard them as our direct competition for the top four. We're more looking at Chelsea and Spurs, although Spurs pulling quite far out of sight now, despite the fact that we beat them in the derby a few weeks ago. I think what's really alarmed people today was the lack of quality in our performance, and I think it has maybe cast more light on the manager's role than there has been up till now. To a certain extent, a new manager at Arsenal was always going to get not a free pass, but the fans would be willing to back them for a period of time. And what I can see from the way this game's being dissected online, from the way Emery's being criticised, is that maybe that honeymoon period, that grace period, is coming to an end now. People are beginning to grow frustrated with some of his decision making. When you look at the starting lineup for the game, he went with the back four, which I think he started the previous game with as well. So it looks like he might be shifting back towards that system, which we know he prefers. It was Koscielny and Socrates as the two centre halves, arguably our best centre halves, really. Xhaka in front of them, and Guendouzi and Torreira. I know the decision to start Torreira raised a few eyebrows. I agree with Emery's logic. You've got to take a game at a time. Arsenal were not guaranteed a win at Brighton. As we saw, they played Torreira and struggled to a draw, so I think we needed him. I wouldn't have liked to see what this performance looked like without him. And it seems he has escaped a booking despite some confusion. It looks like the booking went to Kolasinac, and he will be available to play at Anfield, so I think that was the right call. Whether or not you need to play three central midfielders, Guendouzi, Xhaka and Torreira, who are all relatively defensively minded, or at least have deep starting positions against a side like Brighton, I think is another question. But I think the reason we did that is because we had to accommodate Ozil, Aubameyang and Lacazette ahead, who had a lot of freedom, a lot of ability to roam. And if you're going to have that in your front three, you probably do need some security behind. It started really well. Good pressing from Torreira, good hold-up play from Lacazette, and a brilliant finish from Aubameyang. And Arsenal were in front. And in that first 10 minutes, it looked like this game was going to be a stroll for Arsenal. It felt a little bit like there was a big moment to go 2-0 ahead. Torreira with a good ball over the top. Aubameyang went clear, and Matt Ryan saved. I know Aubameyang's missed some easy chances this season. I'm not sure I count this as one. I mean, it was a great first touch. I sort of think he did everything right. He went low and across the goalkeeper. I think it was a really good save from Ryan, who I think is a very good goalkeeper. The manner of the equaliser we conceded was preposterous. There was this graphic on Sky earlier in the game showing that Arsenal have not conceded a single goal from an opposition corner this season. Well, we found a way to concede one from our own corner. A long lumped ball through the middle, which was the most effective way of getting at us all day, really. Lichtsteiner was pedalling back, and I think he had to get something on it, because if I'm honest, if he'd let it run, I think the striker was getting there anyway. However, having decided to get something on it, it was a poor header. He needed to get more distance, more direction. He just nodded it back into the path of another player. Brighton ran through, and I think you've got to look at Guendouzi, who is the deepest man. Is that wise, having Guendouzi as the deepest man when we have a corner? If they break, I don't think he's got the awareness to deal with it. We put Kolasinac in the penalty box. Does he need to be there? We put Torreira on the edge of the box because he's got a decent long-range shot. Okay, but does he need to be there? I felt like Lichtsteiner and Guendouzi, are they the right two? Lichtsteiner, no pace. Guendouzi, not particularly quick, not particularly defensively switched on. I think Mesut Ozil should have tracked his man better as well, but I don't think he's the man most to blame in this situation. For once, can you believe it? Anyway, I don't really put much blame on Bernd Leno. I don't know what he can do. He's absolutely left in the muck by Lichtsteiner, who Didn't have a great game. I saw many people saying they wish Maitland-Niles had started. I think once we saw Maitland-Niles come on, they switched to three at the back and wing-backs. I think he dribbled the ball out of play about 3 times. I mean, look, I like him, but I don't think it's a gimme that he should be playing ahead of Lichtsteiner. Anyway, from that point on, we were really poor. Emery made his blockbuster change at half-time. He brought Iwobi on for Ozil. I don't think it worked. I wonder if it was a response to Ozil not tracking his runner, because I thought apart from that, Ozil had been fine. He shifted the system around. He put Iwobi on the left, Aubameyang on the right. That didn't work at all. Aubameyang wasn't in the game from that point, and he had a very threatening first half. Bringing Lacazette off took away a focal point. It has worked for him in the past. Almost every substitution is a gamble. This is one that didn't backfire. You know, there's every possibility he could have kept Lacazette on and it wouldn't have brought the result nonetheless, you know. I do think that there has been a dip in our performances since the Spurs game. I don't think we were scintillating before that, don't get me wrong, but you felt like that might be a point at which we would really start to pick up form. That's not been the case. Nevertheless, I can't help but feel this is a match that last season we would have lost. In fact, we did lose it. I think there is a bit more resilience about this Arsenal team. I think even when we don't play well, we do tend to pick up superior results to the ones we were getting last season. And yes, last season is a low bar, but that is what Emery inherited. That is the squad. That is the form that he took on and is trying to improve. You know, we are 2 points off the top 4. It's still very much to play for. We're still very much within range of our target for this season, which I don't think any of us were particularly confident of achieving back in August. I think there's a bit of disillusionment maybe with the coach because people feel like they don't know what his style of football is, that he's so adaptable game to game that we don't have much to hang our hat on. I understand that, but I also think if you had to say what his style of football is, you would probably have to concede that there are several key players missing to make that style of football effective. You know, if you said to me, what do I imagine an Unai Emery team to look like, I'd say, well, it would have a pressing number 10. You know, someone who was a creative player, but also could work hard defensively, like a Christian Eriksen, maybe like an Aaron Ramsey. But Aaron Ramsey's on the way out of this club, so that ain't going to happen. I'd say he probably would like one player on the flanks with pace and dribbling ability. We don't really have one of those. And having lost Mkhitaryan for 6 weeks, we are so reliant on a very out of form Alex Iwobi. So that's a bit of an issue. You know, I think we do have to be patient as well. And I think we've had enough positive signs of progress to not throw the toys out of the pram when we draw away from home at Brighton. It's not what we want. It's not ideal. The substitutions were not correct today. But by their nature, they are not always going to be. You know, he's got a lot more right than wrong when it comes to decisions from the bench. And there's always an element of a calculated gamble. Nothing is guaranteed. You can prepare for every scenario. It doesn't mean it's going to work. If it does work, you look like a genius. If it doesn't, I don't necessarily think that makes you a fool. So I think more nuance, would you believe it, more nuance is required in the analysis of this team at the moment. So kind of symptomatic of everything in the world. Anyway, I'm actually in my pyjamas. These were a Christmas present, but I just wanted to get some of that off my chest. This is a bit longer than normal, but there's no Arsecast Extra after this game, so this is all you'll hear from me. Thanks for watching, especially if you got this far. We go to Liverpool now. It's a massive test. They are flying. They don't concede goals. They're brilliant going forward. We are a mess at the back. So, you know, we didn't really create a chance in the second half of this game against Brighton. Let's hope we go to Liverpool and give them hell going forward. Let's hope we find some kind of attacking form. That's our best chance. Yeah, I'll be amazed if we won there. If we can get a point, fantastic. Really, in the circumstances, that would be great. Okay, I'll leave it there. Hope you had a lovely Christmas. Speak to you all soon. Bye bye.